Well, hey guys, it's Thorzax here, and I'm wishing you guys a good evening. A few things I wanted to kind of go over. First of all, the Reloaders Network. I wouldn't have this right now if it wasn't for the Reloaders Network. Harry contacted me through the Reloaders Network because YouTube does not allow messaging anymore. I think there's a way you can send a message to somebody on YouTube, and it has something to do with going into your message center or whatever it is, and you got to do all this stuff. Well, you know, Harry was able to get a hold of a few people through the Reloaders Network that know me, and he ended up getting my email address, and then that's when he emailed me to offer to make this on his 3D printer. So, the whole point of what I'm trying to get at here, the Reloaders Network is more than just a place to post videos. It's also a place where we can congregate together, we can get to know each other, and if somebody has an expertise, you know, in a certain aspect of reloading or whatever, you know, I mean, the guy can weld, or the guy's got a machine, you know, shop, he's got a lathe, he's got an end mill or whatever, you know. A lot of times, you know, you make connections like that through people, and you find out that these people are experts in that stuff. You know, I mean, they may not do it for a living, but they're experts in it because they enjoy doing it. And that's kind of the whole thing with Harry. Harry's an expert in doing this sort of stuff, but he doesn't do this for a living. You know, it's not what he wants to do for a living. He does this for entertainment for himself. So, anyway, the Reloaders Network. If you're not part of it and you haven't, you know, signed up, I strongly suggest that you do. I mean, it's just it's a great community, and not only that, it makes our gun community even stronger. Okay, every member that we have on the Reloaders Network makes us stronger, and it makes our connections to each other. And, you know, we can email each other, and we can do things like that, and we can exchange information and the things in a free forum matter, and post our videos and things like that for other people to enjoy. Loads of Bacon. He came. This started out as a dream child of his because of YouTube, and he moved forward with it, and he established the site. And he went around and he took a poll. He didn't, you know, he just didn't jump off the diving board. You know, he asked a few people, you know, what we thought of it, you know, and that to me is the reason why Bacon is kind of the president, I guess you would say, of the Reloaders Network. You know, he's the go-to guy. He would be the guy that I would ask, hey, what do you think of this? Or hey, what do you think of that? You know, that sort of thing. And he's always open to take that sort of, you know, questions and stuff. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about the bullet feeder. Now, I got it mounted on the maintenance stand. This right here is so that you can take it apart. You know, you can go ahead and position this any which way you want. You can take it apart. You can replace parts on it. You can actually run it. You know, you got your power supply. You plug it in, and all you do is put a bucket underneath your feed tube, you know, a collection bucket, and you can actually run this thing right here, you know, on top of the table, and see whether or not your bullets are lining up or your bullets are doing its thing. You know, this is really well thought out. I mean, this is a very, very, very good thing right here to have. And not only that, you know, you can take it in the other room. You know, you're not stuck out in the garage or anything like that. And not only that, when it's not in use, you know, you don't have to set it out in the garage where it's going to get dirt and dust and stuff like that on it. You know, you can actually take it out and you know, take it inside, you know, put it away. So anyway, I looked up the price of what they want for Mr. Bullet Feeder, and I was kind of shocked. That's expensive. I mean, these things are expensive. I mean, even the caliber conversions are expensive. Harry made me a few extra plates. Okay, he made me 3 different plates. One is for a 9mm 38, and the other one is for 40 caliber. And then, of course, this one for 45, and this will also accommodate 44 Magnum. So, and the other bullet plate, I can try that one with the 44 Magnum and, you know, see how that feeds. But it also has the little flipping plate he included, you know, included the flipping plate that goes down underneath. It goes down underneath this like this, and what it does is that it gives the bullet tip something to catch on and get the angle right, and, you know, cause it to track properly while it's making its trip through the little carousel there. He also made me a whole slew of spare parts, these little kickers, you know, for case kicker, bullet kickers. He made me some extra plates. There's just a bunch of stuff in here. Maybe, you know, a few knobs in case I want to put a knob on the top of that and just pull it out. However, he was saying these knobs here, they kind of get in the way of the way that the bullets are kind of, you know, falling down into the deals there. And he decided to go ahead and abandon this. And he also told me a little trick. You want this, okay, you want this to face towards you. Okay, when you shut it off and you want to change this or get underneath there, you can take this out, and you want this line here. You'll see it from the top side because you basically have a post that goes through the motor, and then there's a post that goes through that drives this. He also sent me, you know, small. This is for, you know, smaller bullets. This is a 38 357. This also fits my drop tube out there on the machine. Here's the drop spring assembly for that. I mean, here's one for the 40 or 45. You know, this one will work for both. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, he sent me a whole bunch of stuff with this, and it's great. I really don't know what to say, Harry. This is just, it's overwhelming. One thing I did do, I talked to him earlier, and I bought another gearbox motor assembly for it, because in case this motor ever goes, you know, and turns toes on me someday, I can always replace the motor. And that is something that I seen on one of the forums about Mr. Bullet Maker, or Mr. Bullet Feeder. That one guy said that his motor burned up, and he had a problem finding it or something like that. I don't know what. I figured just buying one and having a spare would be a good way to go. Speaking of motors, this right here is fused. Okay, it has an inline fuse, and when this overloads and it pulls too many amps, you know, because it's trying to do something, because it's jammed, and it starts to bog down, it'll blow that fuse, okay? You know, you just disconnect, you can just disconnect it like that, and you just have that area, and then you got the power supply and your micro switches over here. On the way of a power supply, like I said, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, if you're getting glare on there or whatever. Let me put my glasses on, that way I ain't showing it upside down or something to you guys. Yeah, you got 6 volt, 9 volt, and 12 volt, and this is all adjustable in here. You know, you can speed up or slow down in these areas. So, you know, it makes it versatile for the type of bullets that you're using, because certain bullets may not, you know, turn and do their thing at a certain speed. Maybe you'd be going too fast, or you're going too slow, or whatever. You know, you can adjust it that way. Very versatile. I mean, this is really well thought out. I'm thankful. I really am. I'm super thankful about this. This is just fantastic. And it goes back to what I said earlier. I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for the Reloaders Network. I mean, you guys, you know, if you're not a member, you know, it doesn't cost you anything. It's no cost to you. I mean, you can go ahead and just join, and it's not a problem. You just sign up for it. That's it. One thing else I wanted to tell you about the bullet feeder. Every so often, you got to clean it out, because, you know, no matter how perfect your bullets are, you know, and you know me, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to bullets. I mean, when I cast them, I I make sure that they're not frosted. I make sure there's no waves in them. I make sure that, you know, there's no flashing on the bottom or anything like that. I make sure to adjust my molds and get my heat just right on my molds. However, you do get flashing on your bullets, okay, every once in a while, and that little flashing will break off. You know, as you handle them, you know, they're bumping into each other and stuff in the box or the can or whatever, and you dump them in or whatever. And those little flashing pieces come off, and if those flashing pieces get down in here, you know, it'll take so much, but, you know, it doesn't hurt it to take it apart and clean it out. You know, just go ahead and brush it out, or, you know, get a vacuum cleaner and vacuum it out. It's no big deal. That's about it as far as required maintenance. It's pretty much maintenance free. And this plastic is, you know, kind of self-lubricating. It's very smooth. I'm really impressed with how tough that plastic is. I thought it was going to be chintzy, cheap plastic. That's not chintzy, cheap plastic. This is really high impact, engineered, you know, polymer. This is, you know, that's good stuff. It ain't going to chip, break, or whatever. It's not going to do that. That's pretty much about it. I mean, you know, I made a little stand. I got a piece of cedar board here, and I smoothed out the edges, and I just went ahead and mounted it with some screws for the stand. And like I said, it just comes off just like that. You set it on there like that, and then you can maintenance it, and you can do whatever you want with it. It's just really an awesome rig. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. I really am. This really speeds up the process of making bullets. I mean, this thing right here, when you sit down and you sit in front of your star unit and you're cranking away, I mean, I can do 500 bullets in 20 minutes with this thing. Just done. We're done. You know, I mean, I can put out, you know, it comfortably, just pulling the handle like this, okay, in that fashion, about that speed. I can make 100 bullets in probably about 3.5 minutes. So you divide 3.5 minutes, you know, towards 10 loadings, and that'll tell you how many bullets. So like 1,000 bullets in about 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. So you're less than an hour, and you've got more than enough bullets to keep yourself satisfied in less than an hour. I mean, unbelievable. I remember I do have a RCBS Lubimatic 2. I've kept that. It has a heater and everything like that. And they're good units. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, they work fine. But you have to handle the bullet. You have to put it in. You have to force it down in there. You got to apply the lube. Then you got to back off the pressure, and then you got to pop it back out. And, you know, that works fine if you're not going to make a whole bunch of bullets, like pistol bullets, okay? If you're going to make like 100 rounds of 308 bullets, you know, and you want to put gas checks on them, the RCBS unit works just fine. I mean, you know, it'll work just fine for that sort of thing, because you're not making 1,000 of them. So, and later on, as time progresses, I do want to do some 6.5 by 55 with cast bullets, and I also want to do some 303 with cast bullets. I also want to do some 308 with cast bullets and see how that works, and kind of get into that aspect. You know, like IMR 4198, 4227, try some Hercules 2400, try some of the red dot loads, maybe some unique loads, and see how that works in the way of cast bullets for rifle. That's one thing that I haven't really got a lot of experience in, and that's cast bullets for rifle. So that'll be a whole new ball game for me, except for big bore. I have made bullets for big bore and shot them. That's one thing that's great about having this craft, is that you can also, you know, make bullets, you know, for large caliber guns that, you know, and you can do it on the cheap, and you can go out and enjoy those rifles, you know, just by making your cast bullets. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you this here. Like I said, each one of these is a little different. This one here is for the 170s. This has been kind of fine-tuned. This is just kind of a general, you know, 40, 45 caliber one, you know. you know, 44 Magnum. Got another one here for 38, 357, 9mm. I can pretty much do just about anything with what I got set up right here. So anyway, guys, I think I covered everything. Go to the Reloaders Network, become a member. Doesn't cost you anything. YouTube videos, if you put up YouTube videos, make sure and transfer them over there for viewing, you know. And if you see something you like, you can go ahead and make a comment. People get the comment on it. You can go ahead and respond to them. And if they want to talk to you privately about it, you can do that too on the Reloaders Network. And it's not hard. It's not a hard thing. So there you go. So anyway, this is Thor Zax, and I'm signing out. And you guys have a good evening.